Hi, Ben here from Trident Fly Fishing, and today I'm really excited to talk about the new Sage Thermo. This is Sage's newest big game reel, and while Sage has not necessarily had the best history with big game reels, this reel changes that entirely. Stay tuned to find out why. So before we dive into this reel, let's talk about some of the previous Sage big game reels, like the 6000, the 8000. Those reels have all been really solid performing reels, but have all sort of lacked something. And it's either been drag or look and feel, but they just haven't been super well designed for big game applications. The Thermo is designed from the ground up to change that. And it comes on the market at a time when finding a reel for tarpon, GT, marlin, all of those species is actually really hard to find. So if you're in the market for a Nautilus GTX or a Hatch 11 or 9 plus, those are really tough reels to find on the market. So Sage coming in with the Thermo here in early 2022 really makes a lot of sense and gives big game anglers an option to get out there and fish. So I'm pretty excited about this reel, and we're gonna dive into it. And we're gonna start with the drag system. Now, we've got a tarpon reel shootout coming up, and you'll definitely wanna make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on that. But we've actually tested the drag on this reel at 16 pounds. So turn that all the way up. It's got a really good amount of drag. And that's actually the same amount of drag as the Mako 9600. So truly a big game amount of drag here. And you'll actually be able to access all of that drag because of that hard stop on the end. So there's no trying to twist it and twist it and twist it and really lock that down. You just turn it up to 20 here and you've got 16 pounds of drag. Dial it back to 10 and you've got 5 pounds of drag. While that drag isn't super linear, most of your fishing is gonna be in that 0 to 10 range. Now moving on to the spool, this Thermo comes in two sizes, the 10-12 and the 12-16. So 10-12, that's gonna be your tarpon, GT type of reel. 12-16, tuna, billfish, that type of thing. We're gonna be talking about the 10-12 size. And that spool has a max diameter of roughly 4.4 inches and a width of 1.2 inches. And that's gonna give you a pretty fast retrieval rate of 12 plus inches per turn. And it holds a massive amount of backing. We're talking 450 yards of 30-pound Dacron with a standard weight forward 11 weight line. So really good spool design for those big game applications. Now let's talk about some of the ergonomics on this reel. You've probably already noticed, but this reel has an absolutely massive drag knob. I think it's probably the biggest drag knob that I've ever seen on any reel to date. But what that means is it's super easy to grab onto. So you can really dial in any drag that you'd like here with ease. It's just a really well-designed drag reel. Same thing with the handle here. You got a nice big handle, just what you'd expect from a big game reel. In terms of sound, the Thermo's got the same sound on the incoming and the outgoing. It's a little muted. It's definitely not gonna be as nice as, say, a Tibor Gulfstream, but it's fine. And we'll give it a listen right now. One downside to this reel is its weight. In the 10-12 size, this Thermo weighs in at a whopping 15 ounces. So that's huge. It's way more than, say, a Hatch 9 plus, and way, way more than a Nautilus GTX, but it's actually about the same as a Mako. So if you're a guy who fished Makos in the past, you're gonna be pretty used to this level of weight. It's definitely not gonna be the reel that you're gonna wanna be casting all day, every single day. It will get quite heavy. But if you're making that lone shot to that tarpon, you'd probably be okay. And last but not least is price. This new Sage Thermo comes in at $700. And while definitely not a cheap reel, in the world of today's very, very expensive big game reels, this does represent a bit of a value. So as long as you're not looking for a made in the USA reel, which this is not, you're gonna get a very, very high quality reel that delivers lots of drag, lots of performance, tons of backing capacity at a fairly reasonable price point. It really reminds me of the old Hardy Fortuna. Tons of drag, really well-designed reel, but made overseas. If you have questions about the new Sage Thermo, don't hesitate to give us a call at 888-413-5211 or email us 24/7 at support@tridentflyfishing.com. Tell us what you think about this new reel by leaving a comment in the box below. I'm Ben, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.